Welcome to My Buddy's Backlog. Get on in here and make yourself at home. All right, welcome back to episode 3 of My Buddy's Backlog. So with me here tonight is Ryan.
Hey, everyone.
Gavin.
Hey, how's it going?
And I'm Matt. I'll be leading us on this journey tonight. So we want to try something a little different. We're going to go for kind of a different vibe. We're going to let Ryan walk us through his gaming history. So we all want to kind of do an episode where we introduce, ourselves in more detail, let you know kind of how we got to where we are with our gaming tastes and where gaming kind of stood in our lives entirely. We are recording this episode at night, so this is kind of a My Buddy's Backlog at night, trying that out. So it might get a little frisky in here. We'll see, fellas. How we feeling about that? You think?
We've had some pretty big sleepover energy going since we got in the recording booth today, so I'm feeling good.
It's My Buddy's Backlog after dark. Everyone's going to be talking about it.
There it is. So, before we get too deep into it, I spent a good chunk of time cleaning up the quote-unquote home studio. Hung up the fancy new lights, specifically for Ryan. He was disappointed that I didn't end up putting them up, so I decided, I'll make space for these fake neon Yoshi and Boo.
I made a big stink about it. And,
they're quite bright. They'll look terrible on camera. I already tried it out, so they'll never appear on my streams, which no update on that yet. So, anything exciting for you guys going on?
Nothing really for me, just kind of business as usual.
Same here, buddy. I'm pretty boring.
All right, sweet. Well, if that's all we got, then let's just go ahead and start getting into this thing. This episode will probably be longer than our typical weekly episodes because we want to give time to really flesh out and discuss the journey, if you will. So, Ryan, we're going to kind of let you take the lead for the most part and just kind of take us back to when you were a wee little lad sometime post-1995 and let us know what's up.
I just want to make a note. It shouldn't take us that long for Ryan to talk about how many seasons of Fortnite have there been.
I wish I knew, so I could be like 19.
Here in a few minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, unless you're going to give us all the details on how you optimize your fucking Factorio builds.
Oh, man. I'm too dumb for that. I will talk about optimizing my Fortnite Battle Pass experience. How I have a lot of skins, and I've only bought it once. I've spent $10 for everything.
Yeah. Can you do that anymore with the change to the economy, though?
Yeah. I mean, I've been doing the same thing. I bought the Battle Pass like 10 years ago. I guess this is off script from the history, but I bought it like 10 years ago, and you can earn the V-Bucks to buy the next Battle Pass. So you just got to make sure every time you buy it, you're actually going to play that season and earn it back, and then you're good. It's kind of a pyramid scheme. You just keep buying, but never pay in again.
I think when COD first introduced Battle Pass, like when they did the Modern Warfare 2 remake or something, I played a shit ton of that game, and I think you could do it then, and then I think they slowly were like, wait, no, absolutely not. We're Activision.
Yeah. I don't know. It seems to be working for Fortnite. Well, mostly. I mean, like, people buy the skins. You see all the premium skins everywhere. But anyways, let me roll us back, wind back the clock to 1990. Probably like 1999 or 5 or somewhere in there. Or, sorry, 1999 or 2000, I would guess.
So before the towers fell.
Yes,
sure.
Good distinction. Okay. Very important.
All right, sweet. So you do have a little bit of experience when life was good.
Yeah.
All right.
Those were the days. And I don't know. I had a hard time figuring out what I was going to list first. I think I'm just going to pick the oldest system, though, because it sticks out in my mind. I only had one game I played on this system, and it was the Genesis.
Oh.
And I played the shit out of Sunset Riders.
Oh, shit.
It was my jam back in the day in the 2-player mode, and I didn't get very far. I played that first level where you took down the big fat finance banking guy like probably like 1,000 times.
So, Gavin, you familiar with Sunset Riders at all?
I can't say I am.
Yeah, so I think originally an arcade cabinet, actually a 4-player arcade cabinet. I don't know if any of the ports actually allowed for the 4 players. There were always like a multi-tap situations for like pretty much every console where you could plug in something and have extended amount of controllers, but I don't know if any console port, Genesis included, had that option. So the only way to play 4 players, to my knowledge, was like truly through an arcade. It was a big arcade cabinet, right, with the 4 individual spots.
I actually don't know that I realized it was an arcade game.
Yeah,
Sunset Riders?
Yeah, that was my first time getting to play it because I am not a big Genesis guy. I actually didn't know it was on Genesis until you just said it. So I'm interested now on like how rare that is because it's a pretty rare game. Probably $150 game to buy the cart for Super Nintendo. It may be a smidge more, and it would probably be a nightmare price.
So what kind of game was this?
It's side-scrolling cowboy shoot 'em up. Something
kind
like
of
that.
like baby platformer, side scroller, shoot 'em up. It wasn't much platforming. I do remember there being a little verticality where you had to jump on the cows on that first level, and like
the herds would run through.
Yeah.
And you got like power ups that would like take your single shot barreled like revolver to like essentially make it an assault rifle borderline for a couple of seconds. And it would go down and stuff as power-ups increase. And it is a pretty difficult game, too. Like, right, it's still at the time of all games trying to, like... It started as an arcade cabinet game, right? So they want your quarters. So that also may help you understand why it was so damn hard. And
it makes sense. Well, and, like, they talk about how games felt so big back then. And it's, like, because you kept losing and having to start over, There wasn't a save slot. I really don't even remember. The second level, I think, was a train level, and I never beat it. I don't think, but...
It wasn't. I can't remember. I don't know if it was a Sierra game, but Interplay was the company who had all the Disney game licenses back then. And like, there's that Lion King game.
Oh,
Have you ever heard anyone ever talk about that Lion King game? Literally, it's either the first or second level. It's the reenactment of I just can't wait. To be king. It's like nightmarishly difficult.
No, I played that. I remember that. I'll put that in the history too. That and Aladdin.
Yep.
Aladdin in the freaking lava tunnel, like where you're like trying to meet Genie, I guess, down in the you go in the cave and there's like a lava and everything. Yeah, the Cave of Wonders. Yeah. It was obscenely difficult.
That's wild. So I would have never expected the Sunset Riders to come out of either of your mouths for a game you would have played or heard of. It's super fun though. Like, I wonder if I gotta look and see if there's an arcade cabinet of it around here for us to go. Like,
that would be fun.
Get absolutely hammered and try to play Sunset Riders.
Maybe we could check that out. That'd be awesome.
Maybe you could finally clear the first level.
Oh,
did you then, or did you just always replay that one?
Did I what? What'd you say?
Were you able to clear the first?
I cleared the first level, never the second level.
Okay.
I don't think. If I did, it's like I did it once and I don't remember it. I don't know.
So a Genesis, I guess at that time, would have definitely been like, all right, this is not the one. It sold well, but not selling as good as Super Nintendo, so it was definitely the cheaper thing to get. Like, was this, you had a Genesis and Sunset Riders, or like a sibling, or...
I honestly don't even remember. I think it was almost like... I guess it could have been my sister's, or maybe my mom got it because she was like nostalgic for some arcade games potentially. I don't know. I really don't remember getting it. It's just like that's the first thing I remember playing is Sunset Riders.
Yeah, when you say it that way, I guess that is something we got to remember. When we're talking from the beginning, our parents were essentially the age we are now. So
yeah, that is pretty tripping.
Buying, a game of nostalgia. Well,
right. Even though like my parents aren't gamers, like they don't really play games, but they did play a lot of arcade games. That was a big thing, like when they were growing up. So,
but they bought you all the Genesis, and then just
I don't remember that.
I
don't know where that Genesis came from. I was born and there was a Genesis.
So too was the Genesis.
Not Nintendo. Well, Sega does what Nintendo don't. That was actually an ad, I'm pretty sure, because the Genesis had like a better music chip. I'm pretty sure it was the Genesis.
Yeah.
And then one of the most notable things is Mortal Kombat. Sorry, I had to do air punches to remind myself. But Mortal Kombat was censored. There was no blood on the Super Nintendo, and you got the Genesis version.
Oh, I thought the Nintendo thing. It was because they were like edgier. I thought it was because of like Sonic or something, or I don't know. But I do remember that slogan.
Yeah.
Well. On the other side of the coin, so my parents are divorced, so when I would go to my dad's house, don't know where this one came from either, but he had the Super Nintendo, the SNES.
Wow, they not only made you pick parents, they then made you pick
systems.
console.
And I was more drawn to the Super Nintendo because the game on that one, the seminal game, was Super Mario All-Stars with all the Marios on it. And I played that one a lot. I beat the original Mario a bunch of times. 2 was a little weird with the Lost Levels one, Super Mario 2. I didn't play it as much. And I played a lot of 3, but I didn't get super far in 3, in that one collection of games,
So Super Mario The Lost Levels is actually Super Mario 2, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think so.
Super Mario 2 US is essentially a reskin and kind of remix up of a game called Doki Doki Panic from Japan. And that's why it's so different. Like, it is crazy different if you play Super Mario 2 after playing 1 and then 3 after that. Because of the character selection, the picking stuff up, just the way that game
Did you
plays.
play the All-Stars one I'm talking about? I remember seeing the Lost Levels, so I don't know if that's the one that was in the collection, or was that two separate games?
That was also in, the collection.
They were
would have
both
been
in.
1, 2, 3, World, and Lost Levels.
I see.
But Lost Levels actually would have slotted in and been like...
Oh,
Super
World
Mario
was in
2.
All-Stars? I don't even remember that. Super Mario World was...
Yeah, should have been.
Okay,
So.
gotcha. So yeah, that was huge for me. I will say I'm gonna hit a couple of these big moments, I guess, and then maybe I'll break it down by system later on. But these are all the early moments of gaming I remember. All right,
Stand up on the couch and twerk now.
I'm stretching right now. I'm getting up. I remember playing Halo down the street with my friend who I would ride bikes with, and we went over to his house, and he was like, "You got to check this game out."
Oh, yeah.
And I wasn't allowed to play M-rated games until I was like 15, but this time I got to play it because I was over at my buddy's house, and it was like, it was the most amazing thing I had ever experienced, like going through those early jungle levels, and like I remember the flood scene. You find the camcorder, and it was like a horror movie. And I was living it and playing it with my buddy. It was like the most fun I've ever had.
Gavin, please. I know you've Haloed a good bit in your day. So did you hop in around the Halo 1 time too, or were you a little bit later to the party?
Yeah. No, I remember. It was my dad who got me into gaming. We'll talk more about it if we ever do my history, right? But. Yeah. It was like him basically playing his buddy's Xbox and then deciding, okay, we've got to get one of these. And then, that was back when games shipped with split screen, right? Even the original Halo.
R.I.P.
So it was just like full co-op, full way through. So shout out to the OG trilogy for that.
Right.
Yeah.
No, so Halo for me came 13, 14. I moved to the final town that I kind of lived in after moving around a lot growing up, and made good buddies with a group of guys. But there was one guy in particular, him and his brothers. He had 3 brothers, and we always like went out to his house, and they had like straight up LAN parties. They like cut holes through like the bottom part of their walls so they could run the LAN cables to their
that's
TV,
commitment.
so we couldn't screen peek, as much.
Right.
And learned a lot about Halo. By that point, it was like, before the 360 came out, but like we were gearing up for 360 days too at the same time, but we still had plenty of hours on Halo 1 and 2. And, just good times. Yeah, I've played through all of the campaigns, but a lot of my fond memories are like the multiplayer with buddies,
right.
Zanzibar on Halo 2 with the big wheel, right? And figuring out how to do like the rocket launcher glitch where you can like shoot the rocket quick enough to switch to the sword and shoot your character across the map like a rocket with the sword out and
Absolutely.
stuff like that. Dude, wonderful time. Did he also like immediately hand you a Mountain Dew? Was it
yeah, I'm sure we were like crushing them. I really don't remember honestly, but if we weren't really playing Halo. So I kind of missed the Halo 2 zeitgeist. I'll circle back for Halo 3. Because, I got caught playing Halo at my buddy's house, and then that got shut down.
Shit.
So I missed Halo 2 pretty much. I had to wait until Halo 3 came around.
How'd that go? Did Mom come to pick you up and just like walk in?
I honestly don't think I got caught. I don't think I realized I wasn't allowed to do it. So I came home and I was like, I was playing Halo at my buddy's house.
Damn it,
and
Ryan.
She was like, you can't do that.
That's the most Ryan thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like, Mr. Goodheart over here. I was like, I was just hyped. I told Mom about it. She was like, sinner, you're going
not the reaction I got. More. I wanted to get. Yeah, I thought she'd be like, "You cut that grunt up with an energy sword?" What?
Yeah. Your mom knows all about it. She's like, "Did you get to the flood part?"
Okay, so I had other SNES games. I don't really remember a ton of them. The Mario one was the most important one for me. I'll say, let's see. The next big thing I remember is my first portable console, which was I remember going to GameStop. I think it was GameStop at the time, and getting a Game Boy Color and Pokemon Gold, and that was huge for me. I played Pokemon Gold through many times and loved that game.
So as the pod, progresses will definitely learn that you're probably going to be the strong suit with the handhelds. I don't know, obviously, Gavin, where your experience with the stands. That's actually like my weakest point across the board.
Oh,
the handheld games I own just because like they're part of collections of games that I care about.
You didn't really grow up.
Oh,
with
you
handhelds?
didn't play
Like,
Game Boys?
They were always around, and I did have an original like Fat Boy black and white Game Boy.
Nice.
For a bit. I did play Pokemon Blue.
Nice.
And I was a Pokemon kid through like the 151 and then like 152, right, with Mewtwo, isn't that what he was?
Right, yeah, that was the original.
And then just like completely digital. I was definitely more of a Digimon kid, so
that's fair.
Dinosaurs turning into gun monsters to then turn into like sexy angel ladies was all my
That's
thing.
fair.
Versus
yeah,
Pokemon.
I definitely have the handheld experience. I have a whole section on here for modern day handheld sicko stuff.
So yeah, that'll be interesting to get to because it's a blind spot from experiencing. I worked in like the game retail space for about 10 years through like school and various things, so you learn a lot from that perspective.
Right.
And I've always tried. I had a 3DS. I had a Game Boy Advance. I had an SP. And I would like play like one game and just be like, I just want to sit in front of my TV.
Really?
And maybe it's because like
crazy.
my busted eyes and they weren't the great back in the day.
Dude, not even now. You don't ever like just want to sit back and play on a handheld.
I played Mario Odyssey when it came out, fully undocked because I was playing it. I worked an overnight job and I would finish my job in 2 hours and still had 10 more hours of my shift, so I would just play it at my desk. And that's the only reason. Otherwise, every Switch game I have completed is docked.
I feel like such a lazy son of a bitch for saying this, but legitimately, the Steam Deck has changed the game for me because I don't always have the activation energy to go and find the remote and turn the damn TV on. But just the deck is right there,
And I feel
I
bad
could just grab it.
I feel bad when I don't want to change the game. I'm already at the console. I'm like, well, what do I got installed digitally? I don't want to swap the disc.
As the physical collector, that is your plight.
Yeah. So sorry, Ryan.
I can't relate. All my modern day handheld situations are like way over engineered. I'm like streaming my desktop to another machine to then feed it into the little flip device, and it's all just horrific. Nobody should ever do it. But
I think I have the Game Boy. I have the Game Boy player for the GameCube. And then they did make essentially the same thing, like the Super Boy or whatever for the Super Nintendo. It's just a cartridge you put in, and then you can put the Game Boy cartridge in and play it on the TV.
Right. I very much remember having the GameCube Game Boy player, and I was like, why would I ever use this? I don't know. Because, I don't know, you have to take up... it was like I didn't want to... Maybe I didn't have a TV in my room, or I wasn't allowed to put the game console in my room. It was like a family room thing. But like on the Game Boy, anywhere, everywhere,
Yeah, baby, under the covers in the dark of night.
Yeah, oh yeah. I was
snoozes and
I was a big
games.
pillow under the pillow, pretend to sleep poorly, not do a good job, get caught. Yeah.
But you were saying you were talking about playing on the Game Boy Color. Was that your first handheld system?
Game Boy Color was first handheld. I skipped the original Game Boy. I didn't have that. I did kind of skip over Pokemon Red and Blue. I did play Red, but like I think it was more like my sister had it, and I kind of played it some. Whereas like I was handed like a Game Boy Color and Gold, and they were like, "This is yours," like do what you will. And I really felt like it was like I had more ownership,
Yeah, because. I guess that's interesting too. So like it's different. I'm the oldest of my siblings, so if there was, I was also the only one really into it at the same time. But like I wasn't getting the hand-me-downs if I got
that's fair
an electronic device,
well,
right? Where it's like to some degree that probably did happen for you.
My sister didn't play a lot of games, so really this is probably one of the only times. Like I remember she had Pokemon Yellow specifically. So, like, I played that one, the one where you start with Pikachu, but it's still the original 151.
Yeah.
I don't really remember her playing a lot of other games besides, very, very specifically in my mind, we had American Idol for the Game Boy Advance.
That locked-in memory there.
But
what was your, like, sibling relationship with games? Like, were you all playing together?
Not my
screen,
sister.
anything like that?
Me and my brother did a lot, but he's 7 years younger, so, like, it was a long time before we really got to play a lot of stuff together. We've played several. I've got several. I guess I can go ahead and jump in on some of these seminal moments I have written down. One of those is playing Borderlands with my brother when he was like old enough to actually play a single player or a co-op full story game.
M-rated.
Do what?
M-rated too.
Is it M-rated?
I don't know.
Is Borderlands 1?
I don't know if the first one is. The second one definitely is. And
I
Forward was. But
did have one of those classic middle brother or older brother situations where like the rules got a lot laxer as time went on. You know, once I got the M-rated games, it was like, oh, they're not that big a deal. It's like, okay, you know. So
gotcha. It was
they
in the
probably
house.
honestly trusted me to like kind of filter it or make sure it was okay because I was playing it with him and I was like 16 or 17. I don't know actually how old I would have been, but I was definitely in high school. So Borderlands 1 locked in as my favorite from that experience. Playing Resident Evil 5 with him was a huge moment. That was super fun. And I remember playing, did you guys ever play Star Wars
Battlefront?
Rogue? Oh, that's a whole other section. That's a whole other section. Rogue Commando 2?
Where you play as the bounty hunters, right?
No, you play as clones.
Republic Commando?
Republic Commando.
Yeah,
Did you play that?
I may have dabbled in it. There's so many damn Star Wars games.
Yeah.
Dude. It's like hard to sometimes remember those that I didn't like spend a ton of time in. Like,
well,
so it wasn't one of those.
As a non-M-rated allowed kid, you know, it was like T-rated Halo, kind of, almost at the time, and I would get anything to get a Halo fix. But the story was actually crazy. Like, I don't know, I guess if you didn't play it a lot, it was like a very gritty, like 4-man squad, all against all odds, like behind enemy lines, trying to survive. Like story of these clones.
Hell yeah! Like what's the movie that came out where they actually the one about stealing the plans for the Death Star?
Oh yeah. What is that? That's
Rogue One.
Rogue One.
Like, all in there, I guess.
Kind of like because you know this story didn't have any Jedi in it or anything. It was all like straight up war. Like you know, it felt like you were playing a Tom Clancy game or something. But it was awesome. Anyways, we played that. There was a multiplayer mode, but we didn't have online, so we just played against each other. And I remember playing that for many hours with my brother. So my gaming kind of informed what he played a lot of the time because he got the hand-me-downs, I think. But yeah. So that was kind of what it was like. Is my sister didn't really play much. We would play like Mario Party and Mario Kart and everything as like a group. But,
gotcha. But the age gap was big enough that you always were able to put your brother in his place, right?
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, it was not very fair for him because it's a 7-year age gap. So, like, that's pretty big, you know.
Just give him a couple years, though, man.
Oh,
your,
no, he's
your
better.
reflexes are slowing down.
I talked about it in episode 1, I think. We were playing Marathon, and I was like, I can't keep up. He was he was keeping me alive. So, yeah, that time has come and gone, but those were the days.
I feel like... In that same vein, I felt like I was having a damn stroke trying to play Arc Raiders on a console while you were specifically playing on PC because you were just like doing everything so fast. You're like, oh, I'm doing my inventory management. I'm like, how do I sell these pants? I don't want the pants.
Yeah, the inventory management of games like that on console or with a controller is just crazy.
It's like literally the weakest point.
Yeah, I could absolutely see that. Let's see. So that was playing with my brother. I was talking about the Game Boy Color, I guess. Other notable games I remember from the Game Boy Color that were huge were Zelda, Oracle of Season, Oracle of Ages. There were two different ones. It was almost like a Pokemon Red Blue situation, but I played both. And
That's one of the few that I have. I did play, and it was Seasons that I had. I didn't play.
Gotcha. They were like very different, actually. They were like separate games, and they were like really good. Did you like it?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not like I think I mentioned. I'm not a big Zelda fan, like that style, like the original ones and stuff. But I've become a fan more later in the 3D era. But
gotcha. Yeah, I didn't play.
In fact, I sorry, go ahead.
No, you got it. Go ahead.
I played a lot of specifically there was a Tiny Toons game on the original Game Boy that I had. I don't remember how I got it. The color had been out for a while. In fact, the Advance may have been out by the time I got an original brick, and it had Tiny Toons where you play as like Buster Bunny. I don't even know if you guys remember the Tiny Toons cartoon.
I think you're dating us here. Yeah,
showing your age, buddy. Huh? Showing your age over there.
Yeah, the couple of years that I have on you guys.
Yeah, this guy's 1 foot in the grave over here. So yeah, I mean that's kind of. I mean, I played other stuff. I remember playing Shrek on the Game Boy Color. And it was awesome, like Fairy Tale Throwdown or something. It was very fun. Very hard game, but I was like 7, so I don't know. Maybe it wasn't that hard. Let's see. I'll jump into maybe the N64 next. I feel like was pretty. That was if Game Boy Color was my first, like, this is mine portable, the N64 was my first, like, this is mine home console. And I played a lot of stuff on it, but the big ones like Ocarina of Time, of course. You guys played that, right? Or you didn't, Gavin. You're not a Nintendo guy, right?
A little bit, but not as much as you.
I gotcha. Let's see, the Spider-Man N64 game.
Oh yeah,
bro,
I did play
You played that?
Yeah,
that was on
Nice.
PlayStation as well.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, that first mission was awesome.
That game was just pretty darn good, and it had like the theme song from the '90s cartoon that's terrible but also wonderful, where it's just like kind of techno-y, and it's like a robot going Spider-Man. Like brought Stephen Hawking's in, and it was like, hey man, hit this line, and then he flew over to Epstein's Island.
Yeah.
Tragic.
Directly after.
That's enough Spider-Man. I gotta go. All right.
Yeah, he's got to clear the palate. So did you like Spider-Man 64, Gavin?
I did. Yeah, what I can remember of it was a lot of fun because
Nice.
that one, like, you were actually able to. Like, there was maybe some stealth component to it as well.
That's what I'm remembering,
and
yeah.
in addition to, like, slinging around buildings. And
This is
all
another
the-
situation. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, that's it.
I was just going to say, I really only remember the first level very well.
Right.
But, like, you snuck in, and the bad guys had taken over the bank, and they were planting a bomb for some reason.
Yeah.
You had to put it in the vault to contain it. Very cool.
But, like, okay, so you're talking about only playing the first level. That's got me remembering, like, the N64 controller having a memory card slot. But, like, not all games utilized it, right?
Yeah.
Was that the era of, like, we still didn't always have, like, saved data? Or
So
am I just
I don't remember.
misremembering?
pretty much always had save data.
On cartridge? Or?
So on the cartridge for that, so what you're thinking on or was in the controller, it was the jumper pack.
Okay.
And I think that actually added like some kind of controller features. I can't remember. I
There was
wasn't
different
huge
things
And
with
then
it.
there was the what is it? It went in the little tab on the front / top of the 64.
Yeah.
And so you needed that
Well,
for like Donkey Kong 64.
That was like the memory expansion, right?
And that it was a memory expansion. It was essentially you added RAM to the console to be able
Right.
to play.
Oh, that's all it was.
That's what that one was on the console itself. Now the one in the controller, I know it was the jumper pack, but I can't remember what it actually did. I don't know if it added rumble.
I remember I had a rumble pack, but it did different things because there was rumble on the back of the controller, and then I also had one that was like the GameCube thing we talked about, where you plugged it in and you could play Pokemon Yellow on the TV. I had that as well.
Yeah, so we could always save. The technology was pretty well always there to save to cartridge, even at the NES, because we have Final Fantasies back on the NES and Dragon.
You're not playing that one shot.
Dragon Warriors, and which became Dragon Quest later. It's the same franchise, just name change. So, and then we had the games that were like more arcadey. You beat a level, it gave you a password that you had to write down or remember to get back to that same point every time you restarted the console.
Really?
And
I
that
remember
like
that.
kind of always existed, the back and forth through all the what you would I guess consider like the original cartridge game era.
Yeah, because I'm remembering that on a Game Boy Advance game where you had to type in a password to go ahead.
Yeah. There were not a lot of games that needed that like essentially RAM expansion, just expansion package.
Yeah, I don't think I had that.
But like, yeah, you couldn't play Donkey Kong 64 at all without that.
Were these passwords like randomly seeded, or could I crack open a book of cheat codes?
Oh, you
and-
could
You could crack it. You could guess it.
I remember going to like the book fairs in elementary school and just like opening them, like trying to memorize all the codes.
9,000 cheat
All right,
codes.
yeah, we'll get there. Go ahead.
Oh, I don't have that on the list actually, so go crazy.
Yeah, no, it's just
Oh yeah, I had the Game Sharks and Game Genies.
I was about to talk about the Game Shark, talking about all these. I don't even have that written down, but all these expansions. Go ahead. Sorry.
I had all of that stuff here and there, and like the written down cheat codes, especially for like when you hit PlayStation 2 and talk about like all the cheats for like Grand Theft Auto games. I mean, those games are better with flying cars and
100%.
stuff like that. So.
I remember having to go. We had a family computer up until when I was like, I don't know, 14 or something, and so I remember going and I had to use it and write down all the codes on a piece of paper so I could take it back down to my room and then put them in. Those were the days. Yeah, let's see. Other N64 games that were huge. I loved Pokemon Snap. I don't know if you guys played that. I that game. I did not beat just the first level on. I did everything you could do in that game. It was awesome.
I'm familiar with that game's game, if you will, but it wasn't for me.
So that's the one about like photographing Pokemon.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Walk me through the gameplay.
Okay. So you're riding in a giant weird dune buggy thing,
Okay.
and it's on rails. It's a big globe. You're almost in a Pokeball, kind of, and it's on rails through this level. So it's going a specific path. And every time you play the level, it's the same, but it's like you pass a little hill, and there'll be a Pikachu running around with an apple, and a Squirtle like will take the apple, and the Pikachu will get mad and run off. And then in the distance, you'll see there's a Lapras way off in the ocean. And then you'll keep going, and like you get like interactive bits, like you'll get little apples you can throw, and little like you get the Poke Flute for messing with Snorlax, and you get these little gas balls. So, like, it's almost like a roguelike, kind of, because you unlock more stuff, and it's a Metroidvania, maybe. And then you go back to the previous level, and you're like, oh, now that I have the gas ball and the Poke Flute, if I wake Snorlax up, there's a Voltorb back there, and I'll piss it off, and I'll blow it up, and then it opens up a secret level.
I can gas Squirtle and Pikachu. My favorite. But
yeah,
it got dark. Like oddly enough, my mind goes to Dead Rising, but where you take a picture at a certain time, and so so Pikachu's holding his apple, say Squirtle grabs the apple, were you incentivized to capture the picture when they're both touching the apple?
Yeah, you got more points for like all these different criteria, but mostly how interesting the picture was, like if there was more stuff going on.
Yeah. And then there was only ever one other Pokemon Snap game, right? And it was on the Switch a couple years ago.
Yeah, it was on the Switch a few years ago. I played it as well. I wasn't as big of a fan. I don't really know why it didn't hit for me. Probably because I'm not, the target demographic. And it's like there's so many Pokemon I don't know now. But I really do feel like it was missing this, like, I don't know. I am probably just nostalgic, but like it felt so like mysterious, like all the secret paths you could take, because there was so much weird stuff you could do to open up the game and like change how things interacted.
Yeah, but
you probably could in the new one too. I'm just not 11 anymore. I mean, whatever.
You're gonna piss people off saying that. No, as a guy who's non-Pokemon, I still do have like a nostalgia for at least all the way up through the 2000 Pokemon 2000 movie. And the games back and stuff like that. And specifically, I still think one of the most adorable things in all the land is fucking Fat Pikachu. Man, I love
the original Fat Pikachu.
Yeah, dude. He makes me like warm and fuzzy. Like I just want him to get in a bathtub with me and use electrocute.
Really warm.
Well, that got dark.
Yeah, Pokemon Snap was awesome. I remember playing that with my sister a lot. We were like exploring and like it was fun. I loved Mario Kart. We played that a lot on the original. Pokemon Stadium. Did you guys play that?
Oh my god, played the shit out of Pokemon Stadium, man. That was the game.
Stadium. Never played Stadium 2.
I didn't either, actually. I didn't. What was Stadium 2 on?
It was on.
Was it on N64? Mm-hmm. Wasn't GameCube?
Oh. No, Coliseum and XD Gale of Darkness.
Gotcha.
And the only reason I know that is because they're both fairly rare.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. It's weird, like, right? Pokemon games are like sell gabillions of copies. I think those are actually truly rare ones.
Interesting. I had that game. I probably still have it. I really liked that one. That was almost like.
Well, you just let me know when you decide you want to offload stuff, and it's just taking up junk. In fact, if I find out either of you ever sell anything without running it by me, I'm going to be very mad.
That's a very good point. I'm glad you're saying this now, because I've sold a lot of stuff.
I hate to break your heart, buddy.
I still have a lot of stuff, honestly. But that Gale of Darkness game, I remember playing it and I was like, this is it. This is the RPG we've all wanted forever. It was really cool.
Did you play with the James Bond games? Was it GoldenEye?
I didn't play GoldenEye.
Oh man, that was the ultimate split screen game.
I know. It was so
somebody
similar.
always picked Odd Job.
Odd Job, yeah.
I've
heard about it.
Who was like half as tall as everyone, and it's like, no, you can't play Odd Job.
Do that.
It's just freaking.
I've only heard about it. Yeah, I actually did play it, but I was like 25 with my brother-in-law, and he was showing me from when he had it, And it was fun, but it was like the controls are crazy nowadays.
Oh, dude, they're hot ass.
Bananas.
The campaign's actually pretty good, though, right? Like, I played split screen with friends at that time, but the campaign is unironically very, very good. It actually has like a lot of puzzles.
Yeah,
so it is aged well.
Dude, it's just. Man, you saying it, man. I love when a game was just like, yeah, we like sure, it's co-op through the campaign, and it's just like it duplicates the main character, and you're both just like the same guy. I don't even care. I don't need it to be two different people. Right. I just miss being able to be like, yo, bro, come over.
Yeah, so you're saying you're okay with that? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, who cares? Yeah, let me play with my buddy. Come on. No,
Meanwhile, when we did our pseudo LAN party a couple months ago, it was like, okay, what of our giant library of games can we actually play multiple people in?
Yeah.
All roads lead to Halo.
Yeah. and inevitably it was MCC. Yeah. Oh, man.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna list all these games, but the other big one was.
Please do.
We'll be here literally. We'll have a 5-part series about my gaming history. I do have Star Fox 64 was huge for me. I love that. That was kind of similar with like the branching paths you could take when you played the story and how crazy it was. You were like, oh my gosh, you can fly through the waterfall, new level. That's insane. I loved that.
It's back when we were still impressed when the waterfall had a secret, and now it's like I'm still actually to this day confused if a game has a waterfall and there's not just something behind it. Like, wait, this is cheap.
Also, in the days of like, I was gonna say when like now the worlds are getting too big, where like it's too open world. I don't have enough time to play it. It's like I can appreciate a nice linear game, but okay, cool. So that's like all the N64. I mean, not all of them, but all the seminal ones I've got written down. Game Boy Advance was huge for me. I played so much on it. I don't even know how to like quantify. Oh, I skipped a very important N64 game. I gotta go back. I don't know why. It was in the Nintendo section, not the N64 section of my list. Super Mario 64 is in my like top 10 currently. And I'll
was
never
wondering
be
about
over
that.
it. I love Super Mario 64. I'm sure we all know why. You guys played it?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
It's easily in my top 10.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. You're not even like a Mario Nintendo guy, right?
I'm not, but that was kind of my like coming up. Like I'll talk about it more on my gaming history episode. Nice. But yeah,
here's the kicker. It is not in my top 10.
That's fair. You got a lot of games though. So yeah, I was moving on to Game Boy Advance. I guess I don't know. There's like a lot of Game Boy Advance games. There's like a lot of Mario games, a lot of Pokemon games. Pokemon Sapphire and Ruby, awesome. The Zelda games were really good. The Four Swords, I think, and the Minish Cap.
Yeah.
And
did you ever get a chance to do Four Swords, like the full big super duper experience where like you had 4 friends to the GameCube and connected your individual links up to the GameCube and played through Four Swords Adventures that way or whatever it was? I never got to do that either. It was like very ambitious and hyper epic, and I'm like, bro, I don't
man, you didn't get to do it either. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, having 4 friends that were also like, I mean, we all like played games and stuff, but like all being into Zelda and having the right hardware and everything would be like super tough.
Yeah. But crazy ask for like the demographic of children to pull that off, but cool.
Super Mario World, maybe Super Mario World 2. I've been confused about this. What's the one where you start and the map is like the overworld? You can go left or right, and you always go left because you beat the first 2 levels and you get like a Yoshi or something at the top of that tower.
That's World, but that's a Super Nintendo game.
I think it was also on the Game Boy Advance because I remember
the Game Boy Advance. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, cool.
So some of the Mario games are weird. So like Super Mario 3 is like Super Mario World Advanced 4 Super Mario Bros. 3 or some shit. Like it is the craziest naming conventions for those games on the Game Boy Advance, and they're like, oh yeah, it's just money, and like Chuckle Like Mr. Krabs. Like,
okay,
bananas.
I'm trying to. My ordering is all whack now because I don't know why I didn't just list them by system or something. But so I'm scrolling around here on the Game Boy Advance. Game Boy Advance is probably almost the most notable thing in my entire like system library. Like I remember playing it more than anything.
And are we talking like advance, or were we doing a lot of SP?
I had both, but the SP.
Remind me the difference.
So Game Boy Go ahead, Ryan. Actually, this is your
well, me and Matt are both holding our hands out and shaping it like an oval, But,
yeah.
the Game Boy Advance was a little smaller, wider than it was tall oval, and it did not have a backlit screen was the big thing. Well, two big things. That, and it used AA batteries in the back.
Okay.
Whereas the Game Boy SP was the clamshell that flipped up, and it had a hinge. It was kind of like the proto in Nintendo DS, except the bottom part was controls and the top part was the screen.
It was like a perfect square.
Perfect
when it was closed.
square, and it
Gotcha,
charged.
gotcha.
Like a little laptop, kind of.
Yep, and it didn't use batteries. It charged, which
Yep.
my parents were much more on board with than me sucking up all the batteries in the house. And it was awesome. Game Boy SP was the game changer. I played a lot of Game Boy Original Advance, but the SP was like where I put in the workhorse hours of the Game Boy Advance.
And as far as I don't think there was anything under the hood that made them develop a game that was only works on the Game Boy Advance SP kind of situation that I'm aware of. I could be completely wrong on that, but
I guess I don't know
So I
this,
think
but
it
I
was
thought they were
more-
identical hardware wise, but I don't know that.
yeah, and I mean on both of them, I think that did the SP have two slots? A slot for the
did not.
advanced games, and then a slot for
Nintendo
the-
DS did.
Okay, that's what I'm thinking of. So, but the advances could also play all the original Game Boy games.
Yes, they could
Just the
both.
same.
Well, they could play the Game Boy Color games. I don't know about original Game Boy, not NES, but there was a
The
Game
gray
Boy.
cartridges, yeah,
Right,
yeah.
right. I don't know that the Color or the Advance played the original. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So, but
Let's
the
see.
backlight for the SP was the big game changer.
Yeah, it was huge because you could play in the back of your minivan, when you're getting carted away back home from soccer practice in the middle of or at 8 p.m. and the sun's down,
Yeah.
and you don't have to wait for the highway lights to go by so you can catch 3 seconds of gameplay.
Because we all were told that if we turned the lights on in the back,
Exactly.
it would cause it was illegal or something, right?
I wouldn't be here today.
No
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah, that
It's
one's up
truly
there
unique.
with the 30-minute rule with just parent propaganda. Can't go
30 minutes.
can't go swimming for 30 minutes after you eat.
Yeah. I mean, what is it? Drop food on the ground. It's after it hits the ground, it's gotten the bacteria on it. Just the same as if it's been on the ground for 30 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah,
there's
it
no
all-
second rule.
right.
Just what are y'all doing?
So a couple of notable ones I wrote down. All of these Dragon Ball Z games, Legacy of Goku 1, 2, Boo's Fury. Matt's very excited right now.
Those games
He's
are
fist
just
pumping.
so good.
I'm so hyped that you know them.
I have I have box copies of both of those in my
Nice.
closet in there.
Man.
That's what I mean when I say I just have collected just a few that I'm passionate about.
Right.
And the Legacy of Goku 1 and 2, and they're not in here. They're out there as well. I have the strategy guides for those.
Nice. Man, these games were incredible. Did you play them, Gavin?
I did not.
Oh, man. I don't even know how to explain them. They were like a free roam RPG kind of, but a beat 'em up, but with crazy.
The DBZ stuff. I mean, right?
It was
It
I
is-
guess it was a top-down game, isometric maybe, kind of pretty.
Yeah, that's probably the better way to describe it.
And I mean, you could play as all the different characters in DBZ, and you had to train them separately. Gohan would have a different level than Trunks, than Vegeta, but you got to play all these seminal moments with all of them. You got to merge Gohan and not Trunks, but Trunks' kid, I think, or Goten. It's during the
Oh,
Boo
yeah,
saga,
yeah.
and they go in the training grounds, and you get to become Go Trunks or whatever, and it was oh my gosh, I'm so powerful. I'm about to beat the shit out of little Boo, and then you didn't. And he was
It doesn't make sense that those games should have worked on that console, given what Dragon Ball Z is. When you see the show or play any game in the last few years, just the spectacle.
I
And,
mean-
everyone you talk to is these games fuck.
They were so good. I think they would hold up. I would go play them. I think I might do a replay because I remember there was this overworld, but instead of navigating it from a top down, you third person flew as a Dragon Ball character with a little condensed mini map, a compass style mini map. And I mean that's not that crazy, but it felt crazy. It made the world feel gigantic,
And you're not. I mean, neither of you are really Dragon Ball guys, right?
I,
And I'm not talking
not
about
really.
if yours drag. I'm talking about the show.
I was a Dragon Ball kid for sure.
Okay.
I did like it a lot. I used to watch it on Cartoon Network all the time when it would come on. I probably
It probably it ran when we all would have been in like elementary school, like right after school, like Toonami essentially like started.
Yeah, I watched it a lot. I don't know that I've ever watched it all the way through because I've seen it like random episodes, and then I had like one DVD that I've watched over and over again. It's the Five Force. Family Force 5. No, that's a band. On Namek during the Frieza arc, and there's the Ginyu Force.
Ginyu Force,
yes, it was that arc, and
Captain Ginyu right there on my shelf.
Very nice.
Holding the 4-star Dragon Ball.
I could probably recite like a lot of those like 4 episodes back to back, but
that's so funny.
So that was a big one. That was really fun on the Game Boy Advance. This one's super random, but I love this game. WarioWare Twisted. You know about that?
The WarioWare games are just
they're so good.
Slept on. I wish they were more popular, so we still got Wario games like that.
What other were there other games besides the minigame style, or are they all
there was
games?
Actually I can't remember what it on the Super Nintendo. There was actually a Wario game that is very much like kind of a Mario-esque game, but you're just Wario doing like mischievous just Warioing around and stuff.
That's pretty awesome.
And then there's obviously like the Wario like mini games that we know, and he's been a Smash character for years and stuff. Right. But I just wish that we just kind of got like the edgy evil brother. Like I don't know, is he evil or is he just does stuff for himself? I don't know. It's just he's just so living, funny. Brother. He's such a stupid character. Right.
Do you know what that game is or what these games are at all, Gavin?
I do not. No.
Okay, so it's like anxiety inducing mini games where like you pick a genre of mini game, like all of these you're gonna hit the A button to jump, but it'll be like jump the log and you'll be an ant and like you're crossing the screen and you'll have like 5 seconds and it'll walk towards the log and you gotta press A and jump it. And then you'll be like, you did it, or you failed, or whatever, and you get so many lives while you're doing this.
Gotcha.
But they're really fast. They're hitting you with like back to back to back, and they get faster every one you beat. So eventually you're like mashing the button and freaking out because it's getting crazy. And WarioWare Twisted had a motion pack on the Game Boy Advance. So all the games were like a steering wheel where you had to like rotate it back and forth.
Oh, it had gyro. Let's go. That's cool.
I hate gyro anything in.
It seems to be an acquired taste. Normally,
but man, that game was so good. Did you not like it in that game?
No, I just hate that stuff so much. It makes me so mad. I get so frustrated with it.
No, I could see that. I honestly, the motion controls, I mean, even now, like they really have never found their home. I feel like they've tried everything. Do what?
I guess the Wii was the best.
The Wii was really good. I don't even have that written down, but that the Wii Sports was crazy. I guess I'll talk about it. I did have a Wii, so I'll get into that. But let's see. I had Yu-Gi-Oh! The Sacred Cards. Did you guys ever play any Yu-Gi-Oh! Games?
I collected Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards because I thought they were cool. I think I learned how to play it right at the end of collecting them.
I was a Yu-Gi-Oh! Kid. Did you play any, Gavin?
I was so into Yu-Gi-Oh! Oh man.
I'm so excited.
I was fucking obsessed with Yu-Gi-Oh! That was my thing, yeah. So I only remember playing 1 or 2 video games though, and I think that might have been like PS1, PS2 era.
Okay.
So which game are you talking about?
So Sacred Cards was a recreation of the Battle City arc of the show where they like you show up in Dual City or whatever, and it's like everybody has a chip or a band or whatever, and you have to battle, and if you win, you get to take their chips. Almost battling for like pink slips, kind of. And it's like last people left. So like you're like, it's like I keep calling everything an RPG. It's not an RPG. You just walk around and like, well, you are building your deck out, so maybe. But
it's a broad term.
It was at the same time as Ra, Slifer, and Obelisk
the God cards or whatever.
So you like.
Y'all got me beat over here.
So you worked your way up to getting those, and like it was a recreation of the show. So you fought these crazy people. Like the dude did I don't know if you remember much of the show or if you watched the show.
Oh, I did, yeah.
So like, do you remember the guy in the basement? And there was like the saw blade coming for them, and if you lost, you got sent to the Shadow Realm, and it like. I don't
very vaguely deep in my memory. Yeah.
Well, just as a note, because I think this is hilarious, in the Japanese show, the saw blade just killed you, right? But they had to like make it less intense for the for the American audience, so they changed it to where your soul is forever banished to a realm of shadow.
It sounds worse.
And that scared me so bad as a kid.
Just kill me already.
What was the context? Why did this happen to people?
This it was just this guy's shtick, like one of these battlers, and he had like this
like if you lose to him, he just
arena.
fucking...
Yeah, well, he was strapped in too. If he lost, he got sent to the shadow realm.
Fucking Russian roulette. I love it.
I mean, you got to put respect on his name.
Yeah, dude, talk about a man dedicated to his craft there.
That game was awesome. I don't know how to convey it, but yeah, I actually went to like Books A Million to play Yu-Gi-Oh cards with the other kids. You know, my mom took me once, and that was awesome.
Okay,
that's wild.
Were you able to compete?
Also, and I can't really convey this on the podcast, but I had the little arm thing that went.
Oh, you know I had that thing on me, buddy. Except I hated actually putting my cards in it though, because it would bend them up. So you had to put them in the casing first. That was the key.
Yeah, it was decorative more than anything.
Yeah,
it was to strike fear.
Did you do your obligatory dress up as Yugi for Halloween or?
Oh man, I don't know that I did.
Because you're a white dude with blondish hair, like
yeah,
I could
pull
see
that.
it. Yeah,
man, I should have. If I could turn back time, my biggest regret.
Hey, nothing's stopping you, bro.
You're right.
We can do it.
Oh man,
I'll dress up as Exodia.
You can be. Now Gavin's got big Kaiba energy, and
brother, I don't want to be the villain.
He's pretty cool though. You get the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
I'm gonna tear one of the Exodia cards in half. Or no, it was the Blue Eyes White Dragon card that he took, because he had the only three of them. There were four of them in the world.
Yeah, and he had three,
and he's just like fucking.
Because he was like he was like super rich,
such
right?
a piece of shit.
What a dick.
Yeah, he was the first pay-to-win villain that I remember.
God damn, I'm offended that you would compare me to him.
No, well, yeah, I feel it's not the energy. You got the look though, but we'll figure out Matt later. Let's see. That was a fun tangent. I loved that game. I didn't really play any other Yu-Gi-Oh games, I don't think, but I'm frustrated because there's so many Game Boy Advance games, but I don't know that I see any more. So I mean, if I think of any along the way, we'll come back. But I guess next up, Nintendo DS was huge, so that probably makes natural sense next. I played a lot on it as well. Obviously, the Pokemons, that's the first thing. Pokemon Pearl and Diamond, or I had Pearl. There was a game called Pokemon Ranger. Did you guys play that?
I've heard of it.
Oh man, didn't play it. Okay, so this game was crazy. Like, you didn't play normal Pokemon at all. It was like this weird mini game where you had to circle the Pokemon with your stylus, and you had to get so many circles to like catch them and then like release them or whatever. And you were like saving. I don't remember the plot, but I remember
the ranger come from like Park Ranger.
I think so. I think it was more of like a preserving nature context and fighting off like people trying to poach them. I mean, it was just kind of Pokemon, anyways. But yeah, it was a really fun game. I don't know how to like it. It was a weird gameplay loop, but Picto Chat on the Nintendo DS was fun.
I know they did some ports of some of the Final Fantasy games on DS, I think, and I think the version of 3 that's on there, a lot of people really like.
Okay, really?
Yeah. Again, I think I played a bit of it, but
did you guys have Nintendo DSs?
I did not. No.
Okay, neither of you did. Wow, that's crazy to me. I feel like everybody I knew had the DS.
Not these guys. Too
not these
cool.
Nerds.
I wanted to sit down at my TV.
I was a handheld guy for sure. Well, I mean, I'll run through a lot of these because they won't be that notable if you guys haven't played them. But
you thought that about Advance too, but
that's true. I don't know. That was fun. I played a lot of the Mega Man games on Advance and DS. Did you guys play any of those? Like,
I think I played one on Advance.
Okay, yeah.
Like the Battle Network one specifically?
That one too. Not those specifically, but I liked those.
So like a lot of the Mega Man stuff had console versions too. Okay. There's definitely differences. So, like the Battle Network games actually just got a collection released for current day consoles.
I saw that, yeah. The BattleNet ones were fun. They were like kind of turn-based almost, right? Yeah. I was specifically talking about the side-scroller ones that are like 2D platformers.
X with like Zero and stuff.
Oh man!
Oh yeah, but like Zero with his sword and his long blonde hair sticking out of his.
Oh, he was so cool.
Mega cap. I don't know what you call their helmets in Mega Man.
You're probably pretty close. I don't know. There were a bunch of Mario and Luigi RPGs. Did you guys play? Yeah, Matt's shaking his head. Saying no.
Those are the few games I've played, at least to experience them, but I've not actually they just a couple of years ago did Brothership for the Switch, which is kind of a continuation of Bowser's Inside Story and
okay, right. Oh yeah.
All of those titles.
Oh, I love that one. That was fun.
Dream Team, was that another one? I think that might have been a 3DS one. Stuff like that. But yeah, because those were like the spinoff from like Paper Mario to some degree, which was more of the like turn-based.
Yeah, I actually skipped over that, but that was super fun too. Well, actually, when Expedition came out, I was like, oh, like Paper Mario, like an interactive turn-based game.
Oh, really?
Game.
It's like that. Huh.
It was literally the first thought I had, and I heard other people compare that too when it came out. So it must have been like there's not a ton of other, or at least at the time, I don't think, like, where you hit A to do more damage and B to block when they're
like
attacking.
Attacks.
Yeah.
So when you guys are talking about Mario RPGs, you're talking about that kind of, like, you've got a squad and it's a turn-based combat. Okay, gotcha.
It's kind of weird, yeah.
So
it's very much Final Fantasy or something.
Yeah, the first one would have been was Super Mario RPG, something of the 7 stars, released on the
Legend of the 7 Stars.
Yep, released on the Super Nintendo. It was remade for Switch a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. It was developed originally by Square Soft at the time, Square Enix, who made Final Fantasy. Right. In fact, the bonus secret ultimate boss is a straight up Final Fantasy boss at the end of that that game and stuff.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I played that game, but it was more like at a friend's or cousin's house or something, But that sounds super cool.
Oh, dude, the remake's worth it too. It's so fun, and played it when it came out, and it's a good time. Real hootenanny.
So let's see. I mean, I played the Nintendo DS again. Like, it was another big one. I was a big portables guy, so all these are super. I don't know, the most nostalgic to me, it feels like. But I don't know what else was on it besides a ton of Mario, a ton of Zelda. There was the Phantom Hourglass. There was one about a train, a Zelda one, Phantom Train or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But a lot of Mario, a lot of Zelda, a lot of Pokemon.
Is that the console that started the Professor Layton and the Ace Attorney whatever games? They're not.
I think so, but I did not play them.
Not for me, but yeah.
Yeah. Let's see. I mean, we'll keep on the handheld train for now. So PSP.
We can talk.
I fucked with the PSP.
Oh yeah, UMDs, baby.
The what?
The UMDs.
UMDs. Right.
Get a movie going.
The first UMD I had was Garfield the movie. I crushed that movie.
Was it Bill Murray, the voice of Garfield? Is that right?
Is he? I didn't even know that.
Oh, that's man, that's awesome. I have a with its box PSP in the closet out there.
Oh, nice.
Let's go.
Yeah. So.
I have. It doesn't work anymore, but it may be collectible for you. I'm not sure for you. Maybe you can get it working. I have the one with the Darth Vader on the back, the white PSP. That was the one I had. But I couldn't get it to charge anymore. I don't know if it's the cord or what.
Just bring it on over here. That battery probably swelled up. That's all. I'll take care of it.
Really? They swell up? Is that a thing?
Yeah,
you fix it?
It's a straight up a thing.
Oh, very cool.
Maddie will take care of her. Bring her over here.
So I think I got that. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah.
With the Star Wars Battlefront PSP port.
That was the shit.
That was super fun.
Man.
You played it on the PSP?
Oh god, yeah.
Nice.
I feel like that game was on everything.
Right.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Man, those games were crazy. I almost want to just go ahead and go back to that and talk about it for a second. On the original Xbox, those nights, I played it at a friend's house. I didn't have it for a long time, but we would play Battlefront until 5 in the morning. It was so fun.
One or two, or both.
Both, but one at first on the original Xbox.
But it had that game mode where I guess it was just a free for all, but there were bots too, right?
Right.
So you could play and have matches with.
So you couldn't be completely at the bot locally.
Right.
Yeah.
It was almost like a smaller scale version of Battlefield's Conquest mode, where you had all the points,
Yeah.
And you capture them. You got
it was
tickets. And you could play on Hoth, and you'd get in the little fighter jet, and you'd try to tie up the AT-ATs with your buddy. He'd be in the back, and he'd be like, lower! It was awesome.
But I'm trying to remember, was it a special mode where you could just be the Jedis and Siths? Because I remember playing actually Battlefield 3 a few years ago. I don't usually buy EA games, but the nostalgia factor was so huge. Mm-hmm. And you would only get those special characters with force powers after you got enough kills. It was like getting a Predator missile in Call of Duty or whatever,
Right,
right?
right, exactly.
But in the OG games, you could just spawn in as like
You
the
couldn't-
Jedi, right? Or no?
I think you had it was essentially like your kill streaks, right?
There
Oh,
was
it was the same?
It was a
Okay.
point system. I don't think you had to do it without dying, but it was like after so many kills, you could.
The better you played, the quicker you
Got it.
your hero.
There was a mode. It was only on one map, and you had to play on Mos Eisley Cantina, and heroes versus villains, and everybody was a hero and villain.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah, and we played a lot of that. A lot of that. So
Just
much
that
I got
theme
sick
music.
of it.
Hear it in my nightmares.
The newest one, I played a good bit of it, and it had like just the heroes and villains mode, where it was like 3v3
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
4v4 or something, and you just picked whatever side, or you were assigned a side, and then it was a race to pick your hero before someone else picked them.
Yeah.
Man, those games were so good. I guess while we're talking about it, we'll go to Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 was better in every way. It had, in my opinion, had better maps. It had like better combat. You got to play as the heroes more often. I don't think in Battlefront 1 you may have not been able to be the heroes, actually. They were like on the map and like randomly around, but I think Battlefront 2 maybe was the only one where you got to be Luke Skywalker and Jango Fett and such. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I got an Xbox kind of pretty late to the game, and I'm a very, very casual Star Wars fan. I know just like Xbox had all the Star Wars games on lock, outside of them being on PC, right?
Yeah.
So there was like the Jedi Academy games.
There was like
right,
so
and then
many.
there was the super famous ones that like we've been waiting for this remake to appear that's not appeared. Knights
Force
of the Old
Unleashed.
Republic.
Oh yeah. Oh my
Right.
Knights of the
gosh.
Republic
yeah.
1 and 2 that's where they were on consoles,
Yeah.
right? And like the highest regarded Star Wars game ever is like Knights of the Old Republic 1,
Yeah.
as far as
Those games were peak.
well, Battlefront 2 probably is highest regarded. But,
Yeah. Battlefront 2 was like so replayable. It was insane. I mean, like,
yeah.
I don't know. That was a core part of my, multiplayer. Every time I was with friends, it was like we were playing Battlefront 2, I remember getting the Xbox 360 for Christmas one year and Battlefront 2, and it was like another one of those dopamine, like doing cocaine moments that was like, oh my God, I'm never going to die. This is amazing. Yeah, those were fantastic. Well, I'll just keep going on this whole jumping around train. We'll talk about KOTOR for a little bit.
Let's do
KOTOR
it.
1 and 2. Did you guys played those?
Nope. Wow. I actually bought and started it a while back, and since it's like based off of some flavor of D&D and just like from the gameplay perspective,
Yeah.
and it was just like it's a little too dated for me.
Really? I had a friend who wouldn't
there's
play them
part
because
of me
they're too dated.
There's
yeah.
part of me that thinks I should buckle down and do it, especially before like that remake happens. But I also know they're a pretty big time commitment.
Yeah, they're pretty big. You imagine? I mean, if there's a remake coming, is it in the works? I think they did. They announced it. It's been in the works before. Yeah.
Who knows with it? I don't want to.
I think they're pretty long. Did you play them, Gavin?
I didn't really know.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So let me jump ahead to something else. Do you guys play Dragon Age or Mass Effect?
Mass Effects, yes.
Okay.
Except for the last one.
Okay. Okay. Like the Andromeda, right?
Yeah, Andromeda,
Doesn't
yeah.
count. Forget that one exists.
What? Which one?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
Dragon Ages, no.
Oh, you never played Dragon Age?
I played about
Ooh.
4 hours of the one in 2013, that one at Game
Inquisition.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you played
So-
Dragon Age?
Only Origins.
Yeah,
but
oh,
I mean,
that's
it was
the best one.
actually only a few years ago. Like I
Really?
played it on PC and
Did it hold up, you think?
oh yeah, it held up. I mean,
Nice.
the graphics are kind of dated, but it's like got that. It's like the classic BioWare, right? With
So,
the companions.
That's my point with KOTOR is KOTOR 1 and 2 is like the progenitor, I feel like.
Really? Okay.
It's the same BioWare, like people, same kind of system where like you get introduced to a big story beat and it's like go figure out what to do and you go choose your planets to go to and
Gotcha.
You have your crew, you have different people you can take on you with the missions. You have like a romance system and a friendship system. You get better cutscenes if you spend time with them and everything. Classic, like with Mass Effect and Dragon Age, but like Star Wars and like a crazy.
Yeah.
I really wish they would tap more into the Old Republic IP. I'm not really a big Star Wars fan anymore because of how everything's gone, but I was a big Old Republic and I like the prequels too. But we'll talk about that another day. The KOTOR games are fantastic. There's like twists and
like-
turns and crazy things,
So right, it's been so long. Like I don't think there's really spoiler limitations on
this, but they're remaking
I won't say anything, but I do know the big twist of the game.
Unbelievable twist! My mind was blown.
Those things.
Don't drop it. Don't you dare. I'm gonna play it now.
And I didn't play the Mass Effect games until that Legendary Collection a few years ago came out. So kind of the similar situation. Right. Of like I
same here.
I just missed them.
Mass Effect's fantastic too. I mean, I'll just say those games are shaped me a lot. Dragon Age Origins, I played 2 and liked 2. I can recognize it wasn't as good as the others, but solid game. It was just all contained in one city. And
Did you do Velgar?
Didn't do Velgar, no.
Why, Ryan?
It's the best one, right?
Well, I actually don't even know what I know there's controversy about it, but like I didn't play Inquisition either. Like the 2013 one, or I played it and I was like very lukewarm on it, so I didn't even look into Veilguard really. But...
Yeah, it's got. I mean, right. As a very left-leaning guy, it does have like some stuff in relation to like a character being trans that's very like ham-fisted, like comically, like bad
not
writing.
Handled well, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a big supporter of all of those communities. It's like comically,
that's
poorly written into the game. And then the outspoken group of like hyper neckbeards, right, were definitely dogging it just for the fact that existed. So that's a different reason.
My favorite review, I don't remember where I read this, but it was just something like, the dialogue in Dragon Age Veilguard reads like HR is in the room with you. Just like for a game like that, that's pretty much a death sentence.
Yeah, it's tough. And I heard it kind of really overstays its welcome. Like it's like a longer game. Like I don't know, but yeah, I fell off at Inquisition. I actually heard my friend was telling me this last weekend that it's actually really worth playing. I guess it got Game of the Year that year. So but
no, I don't think it was a crazy competitive year either.
That's fine.
So you said the thing about the Old Republic, wishing that would be tapped into more. Did you play the Jedi Survivor stuff?
Yeah. So I actually played. Well, I'm gonna get myself in trouble here. So I played on my friend's copy of what was it? Fallen Order.
Got his ass. Get him.
It was all a sting. Fallen Order was the first one.
Yep.
Yeah, so like I somehow used my buddy's account or like borrowed his or something, and I don't know. I played 75% of it and I was loving it because I'm a big FromSoft guy. That's a whole section, but and I felt like that was a pretty good adaptation in the same style, and I loved that. But I got locked out of the game because you could only share your account with so many people or something, and I had to restart. And I was like, I'm not playing all that again. There's no way. So that kind of spoiled that for me, and then I didn't play Jedi Survivor because of that.
Fallen Order is a lot more Souls.
Oh, really?
Esque.
Okay.
Survivor still has a lot of the same elements. Feels definitely like the sequel. It's just not as from software. It doesn't feel as inspired.
That's fair.
From a difficulty perspective, more so than anything.
Yeah, I was playing...
but it does invoke and tap into some of the Old Republic stuff, if that's a reason to get you interested if that's true.
Oh, I think I actually heard some mild spoilers about some people returning or something.
With Knights of the Old Republic, is that where the Casey Hudson guy, isn't he... he's a big BioWare guy.
He's a big BioWare guy. That name sparks a lot of emotions.
He's been gone for a while, right? But he's the one heading up essentially the Knights of the Old Republic 3 game.
They're bringing him back. That was what was so hype about it, right?
Yeah, it was during coming on stage last year or 2 years ago.
It was during the award show this year, the TGAs, right?
Yeah.
And he was there, or I don't know.
Yeah, he was there and revealed, and they revealed the CGI trailer of
this
is it's essentially Knights of the Republic 3.
I think he was the guy for Dragon Age, Mass Effect, and everything, right?
Yeah, I think so. I'm not just that name. Even.
And you guys got to go play those KOTOR games. I'm frustrated. You got to get in there. They're so good. Well, you didn't really play. Y'all aren't huge Mass Effect or Dragon.
I'll say it's on the backlog, I guess.
There we go. We'll talk about them in the future.
Yeah.
Mass Effect, huge as well. I love those. Sounds like you played them. You haven't, Gavin?
Played Mass Effect 1. I have this problem where I just play the first entry.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
Which is
everyone's like, get to Mass Effect 2, and I'm like, I had to really push myself to get over the finish line in the first game, and I'm like, I was not excited to pick up the second one.
There are a lot of people that I've heard kind of really dog the first game pretty hard. I liked it a lot more than
I think the Legendary Edition replaced the combat system with the Mass Effect 2 and 3 combat system, which is pretty huge. I don't know if it exactly dropped it in, but I know they improved it a lot.
Gotcha.
What else did you hear about it?
That the 2 is the greatest of all time, and then obviously there's the whole controversy of the end of 3 that then was essentially rewritten and added a third option. Right? You essentially have to make a choice, right?
It was pretty crazy at the time. It was the wildest ending and weirdest way to take it I've ever seen. But I have on my seminal moments list arguing the Mass Effect 3 ending with my 3 friends and heated. I mean, probably some of the most passionate debates I've ever had. And like watching like 20-hour YouTube breakdowns of like, it's actually he was hypnotized the whole time by the Reapers, and that's why he did all this stuff. There's no way he would have done it otherwise. He's in an alternate reality where blah blah blah, and it's like, yeah, me and my one friend really liked the main or one ending, and my other 2 friends liked another, and they hated it overall, but they really hated the ending we chose. I guess I won't spoil anything with it, but very controversial.
And then where did y'all land when the third option was implemented?
I liked it, but I still liked my original ending, but they added more cutscenes that like fleshed it out more. It made it make more sense. So it landed pretty well with me, and I do think my other friends liked it more once the Citadel DLC came out, because they added some more background for why that happened, why that extra ending why any of this was taking place, because it was really weird. I mean, like, I wish I could say it without spoiling it, but it was like a very strange ending. But
yeah.
Let's see. So we're already talking about. I'm gonna back up a bit. Go back to like GameCube. So I was big on the GameCube. A lot of Mario and Zelda games. I specifically remember this one Sonic game. It was really one of the only Sonic games I super got into. But it was like DX Director's Cut. Sonic. You know what I'm talking about?
There were a good handful of Sonic games just at that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a side scroller. It was like one where you 3D walked around and everything. Like
it was probably like the evolution of like Adventures, whatever that was, right?
I think it was, yeah.
Because there was also I played a lot of Sonic Air Ride. That's Kirby Air Riders. Sonic Riders, I think, is just it. Where it's just essentially Sonic, but they're on snowboards, but through towns and stuff. It's just
hell yeah, brother.
And then there was obviously Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow's badass.
That's hell yeah, right there.
Yeah, I played another Sonic game. It was like Sonic Adventures 3, where you like you eventually got to play as Shadow. I don't know. That's like all of them probably. Yeah. But you ever play any Sonic games, Gavin?
I feel like, were they on Game Boy Advance?
Yeah, they. No. They're.
I feel like I played a handheld Sonic game in my life, but I can't place it.
There's a lot of Sonic games
actually. So. I think I played more than I went on. I think I've played several, but I remember that one specifically because it was like you could go around, and I don't remember if it was classic Sonic gameplay where I guess it was the 3D Sonic gameplay where you're going down all the paths and stuff, but not side scroller. Other stuff on GameCube, Super Smash Bros. Melee, crazy. I'm sure you guys played that a lot, right?
Oh yeah.
I actually played that a lot. Circle back on that in college. We played it in the dorms a bunch, and that was super cool. But like growing up, I played it with my brother, playing it with my friends.
Is Melee the one that like Project M or whatever, the version that's like super fleshed out and competitive on the PC is based off of?
I'm surprised you don't know more about this, buying these CRTVs, because that's the whole reason I've heard people buying them is for Melee, like the online Melee, or like the in-person Melee events, because Super Smash Bros. 64 was like the intro, and it was good. Super Mario Melee was the first big, like crazy hit that like it was the one everybody loves the most, and everything's based off of. It had like the cleanest, least latency, most predictable move sets, and it's like very skill based, and the ceiling's insanely high. Then they had the newer ones. I remember the Wii one. Brawl. They had like where your player could like trip while they were moving, and like the community did not like that at all. But you got big opinions on this, Gavin?
No, I don't think so. I mean, so there was one for the N64, right?
Yeah.
Was that Melee?
That was 64, or that was just
the OG. Yeah. I actually played that one more because I didn't have a GameCube.
It's like 10 characters, I think, or something.
Something like that.
It's got a pretty
like
small roster compared to.
The GameCube one added a lot of characters, and they followed on that trend big time.
It's gotten crazy.
Yeah, I never played the Switch one actually, but I liked the Wii one. It had I liked the career mode. The progression was fun. The story was nonsensical, but there was a Godzilla game on GameCube that was so good. You guys, Godzilla Destroy All Monsters?
Yep, I was about to say there were several. So
yeah, it was like it was a brawler, like almost like a. I don't know, like a beat 'em, like a 1v1. You know, you fight
like
the
fighting
other
in the
in
town,
an
like,
arena
or in the
of a
city.
town. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you can throw the buildings at each other, and you get to use the lasers, Mecha Godzilla and Mecha King Ghidorah and everything. It was sick.
Hell yeah. I missed out on that.
Yeah, that one was awesome.
Dude, there used to be so many Godzilla games. I think the last one was that PS4 one that came out right when the PS4 came out.
I don't think I played that one.
It's like pretty rare, like to buy it right now. It's like $200-$300
Wow,
kind of deal. So
that's crazy.
and
I didn't know they kept making them. I didn't know there was that many. I really thought it was just that one, honestly.
Look up a list of all the Godzilla films one day if you really want to have your mind blown.
Yeah, I know there's a lot
how
of the
many
films.
exist.
Yeah,
There's like, it's insane.
Yeah, I've heard there's a ton. I never. You would think I'd almost have went back to see because like I like Rodon and like the flying one and then the drill one and the 3-headed monster. Like they were all so cool. I'd love to watch the movies honestly and see them, but I never did. Yeah. Mario Kart Double Dash, my favorite Mario Kart personally.
Same.
So good. Well, we got to get a GameCube set
I don't
up.
know why they have not done that formula again.
Oh my gosh.
At all. It makes no sense. So you picked a character, and then you essentially picked the secondary character that rode on the back.
Right.
And you could swap characters on the fly, but like the character in the back was also the one that like did like a lot of the support moves, actually used the power-ups, I think, right? Like threw the weapons and stuff out.
Yeah.
Like, it was just so cool.
You could also
and,
like
flashy
tag out, and like the driver and the support would swap.
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
you had different powers for like which person you were. Like you get different items. It was like so cool.
It was really awesome, and they've not done it again. Instead, they thought we wanted open world Mario Kart.
I didn't understand the Mario
Doesn't
Kart
make a lot of
world.
sense. Yeah.
The appeal of the open world, at least. I could see the tracks that connect. I thought that was a fun idea, but
just driving around the open world was kind of boring.
Yeah.
But
That's fair. Super Monkey Ball. I played a lot of those.
Oh, bro, I played Monkey Ball. Yeah, God, that game is so fucking hard.
Yeah, I love those. Good intro to the Rage games.
Yes. Did you ever beat any of them?
I don't know, honestly. I played them a lot. I played like Super Monkey Ball 2 or I don't know which one it was, but I played it a lot and really enjoyed it. So I'm not sure. But I did you not?
I don't think so. I think it was just one of those games that my buddy would emulate, and he would pull it out like after we'd had a few beers and just like be like, play this Monkey Ball level. You won't.
That would be tough. I can see why it was so
terrible.
hard.
It was terrible. Yeah, maybe that's why.
Hey everyone, it's Ryan. I think that's a good place to cut this episode because it ended up being over 3 hours long. So we're going to release a part 2 here in a few weeks after we've had time to edit it. Keep an eye out for that, but in the meantime, make sure to keep listening to our weekly episodes and follow us on social media at MyBuddiesBacklog. Feel free to send us an email at my.buddies.backlog@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your game suggestions, feedback, news suggestions, segment suggestions, and anything else you have for us. So, until next time, thanks for listening and take it easy.